Hey guys.
Hi.
I don't know why I'm always laughing. It's like the second you push play, I'm like...
we're like, this is the best time ever.
Okay, so what day did we do that?
So Tuesday on the 17th, we did our first halftime report. Unfortunately, it didn't all go as planned.
Yeah.
Me and Micah were sick, and Kelly took the reins, and Kelly did fabulous. So we're going to just do a little overview.
Yeah, so a new thing we're starting is that every month we're going to pick a book and give everyone the opportunity to read it with us. And then we'll be going live. We're trying to figure out how to go live on YouTube. We haven't. I tried during the Facebook Live, but it wouldn't go through. So if you're interested in joining us until we can figure out what's going on with YouTube, just hop over to Facebook. We do have a link in our description on this. And we'll be going live in the middle of the month. We'll be picking a book every month and talking about it. So we'll read half of it, talk about it,
and then finish.
And then read the rest of it and then talk about it again. So we'll be going live to do those things.
So it's like a little book club that we just get to come together and discuss, and it's going to be fun. So
we pimped out the first one on Facebook, and then Micah and Nikki got sick.
Like death. I don't wish it on my enemy.
So, and she's still not back to her normal self, I noticed. She's still not her spunky self yet.
It'll get there.
She'll get there.
I had yesterday and today off, and I literally slept till 1 o'clock yesterday.
Oh, but that's okay. You must have needed it.
Yeah. And Josh texted me and was like, 2 people called in. If you're reading this, I'm assuming you will do it. If not, I'm assuming you need the sleep.
Oh.
And I was like, you can't text me. You have to call me. He's like, well, I didn't want to wake you up. Like, if you were awake, come in. If not, sleep. I was like, I was dead to the world.
You gotta heal up from that. So our first book we picked was Crescent City by Sarah J Maas. Oh my God, I always say Maas, and now I just said Maas because you said Maas.
It's like when you are around each other too long, and you start picking up each other's names.
So now I'm saying authors' names.
It was so funny though that Rise is really the only name that we both say correct.
Yeah.
So it's wrong.
Yeah, Rise, and he'll always be Rise in my heart.
I will never call him Reese. I'm sorry, Sarah.
He's Risoned. Okay. No Reese or Reasoned.
I'm gonna reason with you, Sarah.
So the first book we picked was this book, and we read to chapter 48, which actually is a little more than half. But what a doozy it ended on. I'm saying. So we thought we'd just come on here, jump on, and show that up close. That's so beautiful. Jump on here and go ahead and talk the halftime for you guys, because also a new feature on Facebook is we can't upload the video. We were just going to upload that video.
Yeah, it just disappeared.
Yeah, so we can't do that anymore.
This
but oh well, it's fine.
Guys, it's so fabulous.
I can't with this book. It is so great. So a lot of people do say that, and you got to remember to talk up.
Oh yeah.
A lot of people do say that they're not really liking it. They're not that into it.
Yeah, so I'm on a whole bunch of Sarah J Maas Facebook groups, and so many people have said that it's too slow or there's too much story building. I don't know how you can have too much story building.
Yeah, it's a story.
That they're just bored with it, and I have yet to be bored. Sarah does such a good job of world building while still telling a story that it's phenomenal. It's literally a talent that not all authors get done. You either have a lot of storytelling and not a lot of story, or you have an awesome story and left with a really B-rated scenery. I feel like I'm there. It's like Six of Crows all over again. I feel like I could call up Bryce and we can go to the Raven Club and we can go get down.
She's great. And I also noticed that she's still world building, even, you know, more into it. She's still world building. So if that gives you an idea of what's going on, we've got everything in this story.
Everything.
We've got witches, werewolves, vampires. Oh my gosh,
one of the scenes cracked me up so hard I had to shut the book because I was just like, I love this so much. Hunt was just talking about how the witches were out flying and they were so low that they were almost like hitting the cars on their brooms. And I'm just like, why are we in such a boring world? I want to go outside and be like, whoa, and I'll get hit by a witch.
Yeah, angels flying in the sky.
But she's right. It has everything.
Everything. Yeah, we've got angels and everything. And so demons, everything.
Shifters.
And this is different for her, like, because Throne of Glass, fairies. Akatar, fairies.
Now there is fae in here.
Yeah, there's fae. But another thing that I noticed is that fae aren't a big deal. Now, I am getting the feeling, I'm just past, I think I'm on chapter 54 or so. I am getting the feeling that the fae are trying to get back their rank. So that is kind of something I've noticed is going on in the story. But honestly, this is like a murder mystery, isn't it?
So it starts off treacherous, of course.
Tragic and heartbreaking.
Bryce is our main character. Hunt is the main male character. But Bryce's best friend, Danica, gets horribly murdered with her pack. She's a wolf.
God, we didn't say spoiler alerts.
We'll put it
we'll put it on the, we'll put spoilers on the...
It's only chapter 5. Like, this all goes down, like, very, very, Anyway, horribly murdered, her whole pack does. And now her and Hunt have somehow become this team under all these other really negative circumstances. They have to solve this murder together.
And the high stakes. High stakes for Bryce just because Danica was her very best friend and the person she loved the absolute most in the entire world. And not only she lost Danica that night, she also lost her love interest, whom she had deep feelings for, and he had deep feelings for her, but they had just decided that night that they were gonna.
Killed me. He had been asking her forever, and she just finally agreed.
Yeah.
Like, ugh.
And then she lost her best friend and her love interest all in the same night. Hunt. An interesting thing that's going on in this book is that we have a set of fallen angels. Now, it's not the fallen angels from the Bible. These are fallen angels for a different reason. They started a rebellion and, similar. But this book takes place in 15,000...
Like 42 or 24.
35 or something. Yeah. And so the angel rebellion was 2,000 years prior. So I think there were like over 2,000 lives lost in that rebellion, angel lives lost in that rebellion. And so the angels who were involved in that rebellion are slaves now. So they have the crown of thorns tattooed across their foreheads. And then they have the slave.
Like the number.
Yeah, sign, signa, I don't know what you want to call it. It's tattooed on their wrists. So Hunt is a slave, essentially. He has been purchased by Micah, the governor, and working for the police. There's several polices. Have you noticed that? There's the werewolves, and then the angels.
I mean, in my head, it's a huge city, too. So, it's like they have different departments. Mm-hmm. So... Yeah,
because the angels are the 33rd, like the 33rd district. Mm-hmm. So, yeah...
And I mean, really, this takes place in one city too. Like, this is a whole world. Like, so I mean, like this would be like New York City, for instance. There's different police.
And in my mind, it's like Gotham City.
Yeah, no, that is so accurate. When you said that on the live, I was like, oh my gosh.
There's just there's so much going on, so much magic, and
could you imagine their taxes?
So Micah is a slave or not Micah.
Hunt.
Micah purchased Hunt as a slave, and Micah has gone to Hunt and said, the deal is that Hunt can be free, and no other slave owner has offered him any kind of chance to be free if you trade a life for a life. So the 2,000 lives that you took, even though he didn't take all the lives, he's blaming them all.
Because he was the commander in general, so all the lives that his men took, he has to pay them back now.
He's like, a life for a life. Every life you kill for me, I'm going to take one off, and then you can be free. So now Micah has come to him because we've got another angel in place, Sandril, and Micah thinks that she wants his spot. So he has given Hunt and he thinks Sandrel's going to be able to get his spot if he doesn't solve this murder of the pack. So he told Hunt, find me the murderer and you'll only owe me 10 lives. Like, that's huge.
Yeah. He's like done. Like, so now he's stuck babysitting Bryce, and they are both very, very hard-headed, very, very stubborn.
Damaged. Both of them are very, very damaged.
And it's just, their banter is the best.
I love
it. That scene where he's like standing on the roof, he's like guarding her. He's standing on the roof across the street, and he calls her, and he's like, can you open the curtain? I'm trying to watch the TV. And she's like, no. She's like, you like trash TV? And he's like, it's better than... He goes, I prefer the Luna Bowl or whatever. It was just the best. So they're awesome, and watching their relationship kind of like come out of its darkness is really cool too.
Yeah. I hope they'll be good for each other, and we just don't know. And either way, I love this story. I don't know what people are talking about.
I don't either.
Are they reading the same book?
I literally have not had one moment where I was bored with this book, or where I was like, oh, come on, like, can we get some more action? Like, it's not been slow.
And the characters
are
God,
amazing.
we got some great characters.
It's not slow at all. I don't understand. And there's so many ties between this and A Court of Thorns and Roses.
I haven't picked up on any of those ties.
And Throne of Glass.
She's the only one picking up on those ties.
And Micah. Micah sees them too. Well, Micah knows, but...
I'm not picking up on any ties except for that it's essentially the same.
Light calls to light.
But that's a quote. That was a quote before her.
They talked about the person that has slayed worms in the Fae.
For others, it might be slaying a worm.
Okay.
Not specifically saying she slayed the worm.
They talk about stories of a firebird and a shifter that goes into a
that
wolf.
Could be it. What?
That's Vassa and Tamlin. Like, or shit. That could be Throne of Glass. Like, we don't know.
We don't know. But I'm not as obsessed as she is.
Hints. Light calls to light has been talked about like 3 times.
I know, but that was a quote before she ever came into being.
That is a quote from this story, and it is in all 3.
I know, I'm just saying it's also a quote in the world.
Well, yeah, I know that.
But
She is doing this on purpose. She is planting these Easter eggs.
It is true. She does have a plan. I think in the 3rd book of this.
Mm-hmm, that's when we're supposed to get
all the books together.
Relief.
She's wound tight. Look at her.
I'm telling you, me and Micah are getting a bulletin with yarn and dates.
They probably will.
And like all these artifacts that they're looking for. Oh my God, there's missing artifacts in A Court of Thorns and Roses.
So for me, it's not that big of a deal because I've read 2 series that have done this to me who hyped up this. They're all going to meet in one book. And then when they meet in one book, both series have done this to me. It's just for a battle. And they've just basically made cameos. You know what books they are? It's one Karen Marie Moning's Fever series. She brought in the Highlanders. I read all 11 Highlander books. They're effing romance novels, which I don't even like. And they were only there for like, I don't know, 7 chapters. And then I would have read all of Holly Black's books regardless. But in the end of the 3rd Cruel Prince book, they hyped up that they're all going to be there, and they too just came and set up camp for one night.
They were here for like some cheese and bread.
So I don't care. I'm not that hyped up anymore.
I don't see Sarah letting us down like that though.
Did you see Holly letting us down like that?
Stop.
No.
Stop.
So while I love it, I still love it. I'm not saying I don't love it. I am excited for it. I just don't get worked up over it anymore because
I am worked up over it.
This is your first series though. That's happened.
That's true.
It did happen for you in Holly Black too, but you hadn't read all the other books like I had. Mm-mm. So I had already read all her other books. So I was hyped up for this.
And I didn't read the Highlanders, I just read the Fever.
Yeah.
Whatever. I don't care.
The damage is done, so I guess I'll be leaving.
Her nails look so good on camera.
Oh, thank you.
She He's like, get out of my comfort zone. I don't like blue. And
I did like
these look
blue.
so good.
I don't care for it much. But anyways, I'm not that worked up. I am excited for it though. I think it's going to be cool because I do love all the characters. I love Rowan in Throne of Glass. Like, he's my fave.
Here's the map again.
It'll be interesting to see how she does it because I don't remember, and you might because you're obsessed. I don't remember a year being mentioned in the Throne of Glass series, what year it takes place, and I don't remember a year ACOTAR took place. So I'd have to Google it and see, because how is she going to tie this in? Obviously, they must live on different worlds, different realms, something.
Because remember in A Court of Thorns and Roses, the harp? There's something like that in this book with the Autumn King. That's what he's working on.
Did you look up a spoiler to find that out? What's making you say that?
He talks about the Autumn King in that contraption. When Rune comes in and he has to use his magic for a minute. Yeah. It's showing him.
I guess I didn't realize that's what he was working on.
It's showing the different places light can shine. Okay. And he said, don't we have other people at the university to work on this? And he said,
no, I remember that scene. I just don't remember it being like a time. Oh, okay.
The Autumn King has stuff going on. And now he wants a missing artifact, which we know why he wants the missing artifact. But missing artifacts is a big thing in all three of these series.
Yeah.
The harp. There's missing artifacts in A Court of Thorns and Roses Ocean. There's missing artifacts in lands in A Court of Thorns and Roses. Throne of Glass, there's a couple things that
essentially, aren't they saying Fae were the original beings?
The original, like race,
all the worlds. So then they're going to have artifacts.
I know, but...
Yeah, I'm excited. Look, she is, like, obsessed.
I'm telling you guys.
I'm glad I have her on my side, because if I have any questions, I'll just be like, hey, what's this mean? Like my friend Christina with Harry Potter. I literally just watched Harry Potter for the first time by myself, like 6 months ago.
Oh, I remember when you did that. I was like, wait, what?
Because I've always watched it with my friend. Because I can't read the books because Harry Potter's so young. On the first one, I can't get past it. And my friend's always like, okay, so this is what happened. And this is really what happened. And this is what they didn't put in the book. And this is why this is a thing. And so I literally just watched them for the first time. That's so awesome. By myself. They were great. I loved them.
That's awesome.
So, but I haven't read the books. It's fine.
The characters, though, in this are so awesome.
They really are.
And
I love Leaba. How do you say Leaba?
Lehaba.
Lehaba. I call her Leaba. I love her.
It's like a little...
She nicknames them.
She reminds me of Tinkerbell, but with fire.
With fire. She's like, don't be mean to Alfie. And I'm like, yes! She gave Hunt a nickname right off the bat.
I call him Alfie now. Everything.
Don't be mean to Alfie.
Oh my gosh, I love her so much.
She just swoons over the guy. She is, and like she's always watching her tablet. And she's always watching porn.
She's like, this isn't porn.
She's a horny
like,
little.
It's called Vamps and what is it? Oh, what is it called? It was the last one.
I don't remember.
Vampire porn is great. And Rune, like, Hunt is my for sure man in this, but Rune, man, he is that bad boy. I'm gonna ignore what Daddy wants. Prince.
Spoiled. No. Rune hadn't made any impression on me until now. Like, now he's starting to make an impression on me.
He made an impression on me when she was describing him with his piercings and tattoos, and I was like...
Well, she described him with the side of his head shaved, and I'm like, oh my god, Rune, that is so 2 seasons ago.
I was like...
I'm like, that haircut isn't even cool anymore.
Well, I was picking up my jaw. And then, so that is Bryce's cousin.
Yeah, we'll just say.
Yeah.
It's not really her cousin since we've already given spoilers.
Yeah, it's her brother. Well, half-brother. But that makes the Autumn King her daddy.
Yeah. Oh, but what I was going to tell you when we were talking, because I got lost in text, and we were talking about the power that she must have. Mm-hmm. I recall already an incident happening where she produced heat.
Yeah. Okay, so I was thinking about that after you said that, and because you said that there's times that you think she already has used it, and so I was thinking back, and I think you're right.
Yeah, I think she's gonna have some kind of fire because he has fire.
That's the Autumn, yeah.
Yeah, and so I can't remember because I don't remember every little thing, but there was a moment where she produced some heat and but she just wrote it off like, oh, it must have been the, whatever.
Something.
Yeah.
But
Anyways,
her walking around, and I know that they're mentioning it for a reason. Her pains in her legs, like,
yeah, so
because like she's like, she's going to go start writing down the last places that Danica was then before she died, and it says when her legs started having a sharp pain, and I'm like, well, that's an odd time for you to mention that, Sarah. Like, and it's always something to do with the murder case. Her leg starts having pain, so she has
she always makes an excuse for that too. Like, oh, I was, or Alfie, or Hunt makes an excuse for it. Oh, she was running, yesterday, so she has a limp. I think that the demon left something inside her, like a claw or
because
a tooth,
when she went to Danica's house and found them dead, the demon was there and scratched her, so she had to get stapled up in her leg,
which also is interesting too.
And the fact that, sorry, I didn't mean that. I can't believe it was Micah. When I read that I was
Micah,
like,
yeah. I couldn't either because, like, why couldn't he defend himself?
Yeah.
And then you're not there yet, so I'm not going to say this one thing, but something happens in, like, chapter 46 or 47. Something happens in 48 or 49. 49. It happens in 49. Something happens in 49, and there's, like, a solid end to that. And I'm just thinking, how did that happen if Micah couldn't? And Micah is the most powerful angel because to be a governor or have a high role, they have to have, like, he could drop that entire town. He could level it with his power. How did the Chrysalis get him?
And only leave Bryce with a gash. Like, something, we're missing something for sure.
Well, something else happens too that I'm not going to say happens past chapter 48 that you're like, oh, wait a second. Anyways, we'll talk about that at the end.
I'm turning this off so I can go read. I'm just kidding.
So we're going to do another video. So if you didn't get to join us for the first half of the book, read really fast. We are talking about today up to chapter 48, but we're going to read the rest. And at the end of the month, we're going to do another video where we talk about the end of the book.
Bring it all together.
So catch up, girls and boys. This is an 800-page book.
It's a commitment. It is a commitment.
Yes. So excited to finish this book. We'll talk to you at the end of the month.
Bye.